good morning, everybody, and welcome to a lovely Friday morning here in the world, and another brand new episode of Mornings with the Outlaw, with me, the Outlaw, John Rocha, and my special guest, Alex Shashek. How are you, Alex?
I'm damn spiffy. That's what I am. That's exactly what I am right now.
You're repping your Cardinals over there. What are we talking about? What's going on? You trying to push back on the people who've been making you say the Yankees are the best team ever? What's happening over there?
I'm still in my PJs, so this is my sleeping hat. And I just rolled out of bed 20 minutes ago, so
nice.
I haven't really changed at all. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, right. Okay, you went to bed with the Cardinals hat on.
I did.
I respect
it's
that.
my sleeping hat. I am like a old Victorian man, like circa 1600. That's a different century altogether. Circa 1900. Wearing like my sleeping cap and all that good stuff. So.
I respect it. Well, that's good to see you there. I like the hat. It's a good hat. The Cardinals always have good, paraphernalia for themselves. So much respect to you. Thanks a lot for coming aboard again this morning. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about a lot of things today. A couple of sad things, but overall some interesting tidbits going on in the world of entertainment. And we'll get to it in just a second. Please remember that the Outlaw Nation lives and breathes on your Super Chats, on your Streamlabs. And hell, if you're going to send in Schmobot $20 donations, we can do an Outlaw bot. We don't care. Whatever you want to do to donate and help us do the show and support the channel itself, please send in today your Streamlabs Super Chats and any $20 and above donations to get a little Outlaw robot action from all of us here at the Outlaw Nation. And let's get to it, Alex, if you're ready.
Do it to it. Let's get on.
All right. We got our first story. Our first story comes to us from Halloween Kills. That's right. The 30-second teaser was dropped, and it's a sequel to the 2018 revival of Halloween. This one looks fantastic. It was just basically picking up right where the last one left off. So a little bit of a spoiler if you haven't seen that 2018 Halloween. And by the way, it's in my opinion, it's damn good. You are going to have a little something spoiled for you when you watch this 30-second teaser. Some of you have maybe watched it already, so you understand what I'm talking about. John Carpenter recently spoke with IndieWire about it, saying that the film's cut is completed. And at the end of the trailer, it says coming out this October, and just a last bunch. He said there's a last bunch of sound mixing to be done in the next week or so, and then it's in the can. He said the film is fun, intense, and brutal. A slasher movie. Sorry, it's coming out. It's coming out next year. Sorry, it's fun, intense, and brutal. A slasher movie times 100. Big time. It's huge. I've never seen anything like this. The kill count. All right, so that's an interesting quote to be given here, but they've moved the film to a year from now, Alex. So you're looking at this, trailer, and you're like, "This is exciting," but then you've got to wait over a year to see it. So what's the point of dropping this thing now? And did you enjoy the trailer?
I enjoyed the heck out of this trailer. Let me tell you, I have not seen the other Halloween movies. I actually have never seen a Halloween movie in full before.
Wow. Okay.
I've seen clips. Actually, after your Cinephile episode, I think last Halloween, talking about Halloween, anyway, it was a great episode. But I watched clips of that episode, and I was like, okay, I plan to. But I'm a scaredy cat, and and I just got to a point, and I was like, you know what? I'm a home alone tonight. Right. I'm just gonna not watch this for a little bit, and then I forgot about it. But I was reminded that I still haven't seen it technically in full until this trailer, and I was like, you know what? I've heard nothing but amazing things. I should go back and watch it. Yeah. But I have to say, a lot of the things that we're talking about, like sound mixing and sound editing, when it comes to horror movies, that is super important to even talk about, A Quiet Place, how amazing, how much of an effect, those aspects can make to filmmaking, especially horror.
Yeah, absolutely. It's essential. And you can hear, in the trailer, in the 30-second trailer, you can hear that as well. The sound mixing, a little bit of the music, and then the way the trailer ends with a very an image of Michael Myers turning to his right, looking towards the camera. And they don't put an extra bong or anything on it. It's just there for you to consume and be scared by. And in the thing, you see Jamie Lee Curtis there in the back of the truck. You see the house burning. You see her screaming about it. Yeah, Judy Greer's in there as well, and Kyle Richards. So you've got like three generations, so to speak, there were surviving their encounter with Michael Myers from the 2018 film, and her screaming, Jamie Lee Curtis, "Let it burn! Let it burn!" So, something probably Brandon Hanna wants to scream half of the time at the Schmodown. So you see that, see that. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really cool way to get you excited, but unfortunately we're not going to get to see it for another year. But they released a statement about the delay. They said, we write this to you. This is from David Gordon Green and John Carpenter. They said, we write this to you heartbroken over the fact that the delay of our film is even a discussion. But if there's one thing that a career in film industry has prepared us for, it is the unexpected. Over the past few weeks, our film family has looked at the forecast of theatrical exhibition with obvious concern. We've discussed and struggled how best to present Halloween Kills to the loyal fans around the world. We lined up a cast of legacy characters like Laurie and Tommy, Lindsay, Lonnie, Marion, Brackett, and The Shape. Then alongside some new faces, we aggressively made the second chapter of our Halloween trilogy. If we release it in October of this year as planned, we have to face the reality that the film would be consumed in a compromised theatrical experience. On top of a traditional release, Universal has agreed to an IMAX presentation of the film in October 2020. Now, as you just referenced here, Alex, we are sound mixing with one of the greatest design teams that can slash, scream, and creep their way under your skin. So we're going to have time to complete the film with the quality that the fans deserve. And Halloween Ends, which is the third film in this trilogy, has already begun preparation. That's what they say here, with some of the characters coming back as well. So Halloween Kills right now is set for October 21st, and Halloween Ends is set for October of 2022. So it's still fun to get a little bit of Halloween in the morning, a little bit of Halloween watching this, watching it here on this teaser trailer, seeing what people think as well in the chat. A lot of people are upset about the move, I guess, a little bit upset that we didn't get to a full, we didn't get this thing coming out this year. And what's keeping you from watching, other than being a fraidy cat, what's keeping you from watching these Halloween films?
I'm still getting used to horror movies in general. I mean, you're not one to talk. You just saw Rosemary's Baby for the first time a few weeks ago. So
I'm just asking you a question. I'm not judging. I'm asking you a question.
I'm sensing some judgment here from the chat, from Mr. Rocha. Okay,
the chat maybe, yeah, right.
Chat. Okay, whatever. But I had to say I didn't realize how big the movie was. I knew it was an important movie, but I didn't realize how fanatic the cult community that a lot of viewers were about it. I know a lot of people that ended up talking about it. When I ended up talking to about the teaser, that's not a word, the teaser with some friends, I didn't realize they were like, yeah, it's one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. And I was like, what, really? And I was like, oh, and that, or if it's not top 5, it's one of the top 5 horror movies of all time. And I, obviously one of the most iconic monsters. I technically not a monster, but characters, horror characters, like you said, doesn't even technically have a name. It's more or less called The Shape. And not to mention even if you don't know the movie like I do, oh my gosh, that score.
Yeah. The score is great.
It's up there with Jaws, the Jaws theme. So.
Oh, that's a great point. I think that's a great comparison. The Jaws theme to the Halloween theme. Ooh. Yeah, absolutely.
That's interesting.
I think it's just great. It's one of those rare ones, though, that have come back from the 80s and has been a bit of a surprise at how well it's done, right? I mean, Blade Runner 2049 did not do well. That Child's Play remake or reboot did not do well. There have been a number of 80s attempts at reboots that have not done so well. Halloween did, made for a $10 million budget, and it made a crap ton of money. So that's kind of the blueprint there if you want to come back as a nostalgic film all these years later. And remember, this Halloween killed off essentially all the other sequels that had come after the first Halloween. So that's the timeline that they're in. And a lot of people have really enjoyed that. So I'm excited as well to see some more from this. And definitely do yourself a favor. See the original and then see this and see the one from 2018. You don't have to watch the other sequels since they've already been considered.
Halloween H2O or whatever it is.
With Busta Rhymes. Yeah.
I love Busta Rhymes random cameos. I was like, he just pops in the most random movies. I'm like, what are you doing here? You know what? I appreciate it. Okay. I really do. So I do definitely want to see this. It's definitely on my list. There's a bunch of movies that I've been trying to get to in the past few weeks. I'm trying to hit 25 new movies this month, and so far I've hit 10, so I'm already behind. So it's definitely an active work in progress. And who knows, maybe I'll watch it today or tomorrow. I do love Jamie Lee Curtis. She is definitely, when it comes to promoting the hell out of this movie, she is so on point. She's so charismatic. She's so wonderful. And she's so behind this trilogy and what it's really become and what it means for her character and the evolution of her character. She's obviously been a huge, I don't want to say, she's not a cult actor or anything along those lines. I feel like she's definitely mainstream, but at the same time, this character obviously is definitely her, I don't want to say most important role, but at the same time, it's one of the roles that her characters that she's most associated with today. If she's going to Comic-Con, she's talking about this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the way she talks about it, she's like talking about PTSD, grief, all these really intense themes that kind of correspond to this movie franchise, you know, are really great discussions to really correspond to everything when it comes to it. And she loves it. She encourages it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I echo everything you said. I love her to pieces, and I hope one day to get to interview her about it. I think I got to interview her on the red carpet recently, way back. I think last year I got to interview on the red carpet for the Saturn Awards, I think, or earlier this year. Honestly, the months are just all flowing into each other. So I guess it was last year that I got a chance to interview her for a few minutes. She was very sweet. I know. She was very sweet.
I've heard nothing but amazing things about her, though. I really have.
She's great. We got a super chat that came in here from Ben Rader. Says, moving Halloween movies are RT the right choice. Wait a year to get a handle on the virus. I wish other directors felt the same way. Cough, Nolan, cough, LOL. I mean, I think so too. Moving the Halloween movies are the right choice. You do want to have a populace. I mean, we're all dealing with actual horror right now with what's going on with coronavirus and COVID, and people, things are getting shut down, or people are getting sick, people are dying. We're seeing spikes in cases. The numbers are shooting sky high. So that's our own horror. We don't really escape into a horror film when we're dealing with our own horror. So hopefully, maybe by next year, things will have been calmed down and we'll be able to come out somewhat back to normal, so that when Halloween comes out, we want to go into the theater and get our asses scared off by something incredible like Halloween. Let's see. Andrew G donated to Streamlab here. He said, what do you guys think, if you've seen them, of Rob Zombie's Halloween and Halloween 2? I actually really like his remake, and I thought it was cool how his sequel wasn't a remake of the original Halloween 2, but his own sequel to his version of Halloween. Well, Alex, you haven't seen him, I imagine. But I will say one thing about him. I do not like Rob Zombie as a director. Andrew G, I love you as a fan of the Outlaw Nation, but I got to tell you my honest truth. I don't like Rob Zombie as a director. I think he's crap. I think those films are crap. I don't want to know how Michael Myers became a otherworldly serial killer. I don't want to know. I don't want to know how it all happened. I don't know how it all went about. I don't want to know that his mom didn't hug him enough, which is why he goes off and kills people. I don't need any of that. He is a supernatural entity that shows up, kills everything in sight, and for whatever reason goes after Laurie Strode. That's my Michael Myers, because sometimes in life there are things that come after us, kind of like the coronavirus, that you can't control, you can't be on top of, you can't explain away, and it kills indiscriminately. And certainly that's what Michael Myers is. That's what he stood for, and I like him that way. Rob Zombie, I think, just is a pedestrian filmmaker at best, and those Halloween movies kind of convey that, in my opinion. So
you don't think we need like a nice little origin story about like Bruce, from Jaws?
Yeah, right.
Be like, oh my God, from his like shock mama belly, and like him swim out and be like, oh, humans.
If they did a prequel to Jaws, I would leave the planet.
Okay, I say, baby Bruce, baby Bruce, baby Bruce.
I don't know what's happening, but I love it. I love it. Can you imagine?
I totally would do. I have to say about Rob Zombie. I actually kind of like Rob Zombie. I think he's definitely a fun director. He's like one of those. I've seen Lords of Salem. What was it? The 1,000 Corpses. What I've seen.
Yeah, House of 1,000 Corpses. Yeah.
And I feel like I've seen Devil's Rejects, but I'm not 100% sure. But I watch his movies, and I'm like, they're not great movies, but they look like they're having a fun time.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Yeah, and there's like a real appreciation. It's almost like when watching Lord of the Rings, and you're like, in knowing watching it, and you're like, half of the extras pay to be there because they love the Lord of the Rings, and they flew in all around the world, and there's just so much genuine love for this world. And that's how I kind of feel about Rob Zombie when he makes movies. He's definitely one of those creators. Don't get me wrong, he's not the best director. As far as I'm concerned, he's a horrible director, but he's definitely a director that loves having fun with these stories. And you're talking about horror stories with movies, sometimes with really dark themes, and that, like you said, like with some characters like The Shape and everything, where it kind of takes on that like next godlike level. Like, what is he? It's kind of nice to be like, fuck it. Let's play around. Let's play around,
Let's have some fun.
Let's go crazy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I like the idea of a Baby Jaws. I like the idea of, now in my head, I'm like, I'm going to write a prequel for Baby Jaws. I love it. And some people are mad you put this idea in their head. You put the song in their head, so they're freaking out about it. So sorry, guys, but that's part of Mornings with the Outlaw, having a little fun, So we'll see. I mean, I'm excited about it overall to see what we get. But Baby Jaws, that's interesting. Like, he was just a cool little shark. He didn't bother anybody. And then these Amity mother effers, they came and they killed his mom and dad. So now he wants revenge. I think I like that idea.
It's like, all these humans, they keep hunting for my parents and everything.
Why are they killing all the other?
Why are they killing my parents? And that's actually a really big issue, though. If you want to talk about environmentalism, if you want to talk about water pollution, or if you want to talk about the hunting of sharks in general, which they're being hunted into extinction because not only for food related reasons, even though they shouldn't be. That's a cultural thing. Time, they're being hunted out of sheer fear. Like, some people we got to get sharks out of our oceans because they're killing our people. Like, there
you go.
They're important to the ecosystem. But whatever.
Exactly.
Whole conversation.
Well, let's move on to our next. Let's move on to our next story. And before I do, let me give some love to the people who are watching us. We got over 122 people watching us. Thank you so much. Please hit that like button. We only got 54 likes right now. Please swing your mouse over there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button. We like to cross 100 likes as soon as possible and march towards 150 likes. And on our good days, we like to cross 200 likes before we end the show around 9:45 and before I head on off to be a part of SCN Live this morning. It's going to be a lot of fun being on there. But do that. And also for the people who've signed up to the Outlaw Nation over the last 24 hours. Thank you to Christian Gonzalez, C. Forbes 54, Ben Jones, Anthony Nugent. Welcome. Fraser Chris and CB Taylor, who've all signed up. And please hit that like button. Send in your super chat. Send in your Streamlabs. Just because we're talking about things doesn't mean we can't talk about other things. If you want us to talk about other subjects or other entertainment news in the world, send it in. But first, let's hit our next one, and that is Jude Law. Jude Law is in talks to play Captain Hook. Captain Hook, you remember him? He's the guy that Dustin Hoffman played for a little while and said, pull full, Peter, pull full. This is here. He's in talks to play Captain Hook in Disney's Peter Pan and Wendy, which is a live-action film. And this is coming to us from The Wrap. Anderson is set to play. Ever Anderson is set to play Wendy, while Alexander Maloney will play the famous Peter Pan. And Pete's Dragon, the live-action Pete's Dragon director, David Lowery, who also did Old Man and the Gun. He is, and I think Ghost Story is directing from a script he co-wrote with Toby Hall Brooks, and of course, it's adapted from the J.M. Barrie novel and play from 1953. As I mentioned, we had Dustin Hoffman as Hook. There was Joe Wright's Pan. I think Jason Isaacs was Captain Hook in that one. We had Garrett Hedlund as Hook as well in the past. So that's what's got going on here. Do you like, Alex, let me ask you this. We go back to ourselves. Do you like the idea of Jude Law stepping in? Do we need another Hook movie? Do we need another Pan movie? Is Jude Law the right choice for Captain Hook?
That's a lot of questions.
We take them one at a time. I'm not gonna
lie, there's many. Do I need it? No. Do I want it? Yes. Am I gonna have a good time? Fuck yes.
Okay.
Sorry, there's a lot of cussing. I apologize.
Please. Sorry, it's the morning.
It's the morning. Yes, It's my super cold brew coffee.
Hello.
Wham. Also, okay, when it comes to Jude Law, I everything he's in, I thoroughly enjoy. I saw the movie Side Effects not too long ago for the first time by Steven Soderbergh, and I was like, this movie's weird, and I enjoy it. But yeah, so I to me, Jude Law is like one of those actors. I feel like he is low key like a character actor, but he just so happens to be super attractive.
Oh yeah.
He's kind of like Brad Pitt, where he purposely tries to take on these kind of weird roles, but he doesn't really realize how attractive he is and how distracting it could be.
Okay.
It's true. I mean, like Brad Pitt is like a legit character actor. He just doesn't realize it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would really love this to happen. There's a lot of really interesting themes that haven't really been explored when it comes to the world, to Peter Pan, that world before. Yes, we have had several, really big adaptations. Pan, directed by Joe Wright, where Garrett Hedlund, he ended up doing it.
Yes.
That movie's not great, but had a lot of fun ideas, which I appreciated. And, there was one in 2003 with Jason Isaacs, my boy. But again, there's a lot of different interpretations. But with this one, I know they're including, a lot of people of color. I believe the kid that's playing Pan, he is African American, and they're going to kind of go into this with a lot of more darker and more interesting themes, which I'm really excited about. And we haven't seen that before in this world.
No, we haven't. And I like that it's colorblind casting. It's the boy who never grow up doesn't have to be a white boy. So using it, having a black child in there, I love it, young man. Let's make that happen. I'm down. Jude Law playing Hook is interesting too, because like you said, he's a good looking dude. So it gives a whole new element to Hook that maybe has not been there before. This idea of him exuding that kind of confidence and fun. And Jude Law, as we've seen in the Sherlock Holmes movies, that guy loves to have some fun. He can certainly play along with any kind of theme or approach or move they're doing. He can go super serious. He can go tongue in cheek. He can go fun comedy. He can go kind of full on, of a seducer type guy, a little more of a flirty Hook. All kinds of avenues you can play with Jude Law for sure in this situation. My question is, but in my head, I've seen so many versions of Peter Pan, but the thing is, every generation wants their version of a Peter Pan. People still go back to the original animated film as one of their favorites, or maybe they saw it on stage and enjoyed it. Some people really stand for Hook, the 1994 film Hook, a lot of people love. I think 94. Oh, I'm still studying. And people love that movie so much. So maybe they're looking for, because the last few iterations of Pan since Hook weren't that great. And certainly Hook to me is a bit of an imperfect film. So I get that the studios want to keep trying until they 100% get it right and create the quintessential Peter Pan movie. And maybe this is it. We shall see.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, now more than ever, Disney is also really excited to. I don't know if it's done. I don't think this is a Disney production. However, I do know Disney has found sadly, a lot of success with a lot of their live actions recently. I mean, when they started doing Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, they're doing Mulan. Mulan, sorry. So. I'm not surprised this is definitely getting a lot more traction. And not only that, especially now more than ever, where we're hearing a lot more conversations about children, especially Black children, men in particular. Having that conversation, at what point as a Black child do I become a threat? Essentially, and so that kind of conversation. So when a young Black man becomes from a child, goes through puberty and becomes a man, obviously, it just kind of. I wonder if they're going to play with that theme so much. And he's like, I don't want to grow up. How
are you?
I mean, you're.
Let us know we're back. Got a playback error. Weird. Did the Baby Shark people get pissed for singing the song or something? Says Mike Brower.
I'm asking important questions.
Yeah. Are we in? Did we refresh? Are we good? Let's see. All right. Well, we'll just keep going and they'll let us know, because according to what I'm looking at YouTube, no, we're frozen still again. Damn it. Crap on a stick. All right, we might have to start all over. We might have to not start all over again. We might have to build a new feed here. I don't know if it's my internet or the internet itself. No, it seems like we're moving. Or do we get jammed? Oh, I see. Yeah, we're getting jammed at 2602. All right. Oh, no. Yeah, we're getting jammed again. Yeah. I'm seeing that you're moving, but it's are they selling us anything? Nope.
No, we're
back.
totally
Okay.
We're back.
Okay, we're back. Okay, cool. Whew. We're good to go. All right. Whew. I was a little bit worried that we'd have to start to a whole new feed. So thank God we don't have to do that. All right. Anyway, let's move on before we get into trouble. We have a Streamlab that came through here from 50 Shades of Geek. They donated some money and they said, first time watching the show live. It's 7 p.m. here in Israel, so it's hard to schedule. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to watch us live, man, at 7 p.m. I appreciate it, 50 Shades of Geek. I know we see you all the time on SCN Live, so it's nice of you to come on over here and give us some love as well. You know 50 Shades of Geek. Do you, Alex? Do you know him?
No, I do not personally. I just recognize from like the chats and everything over at Sen. So
right. All right, cool. Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much for joining us here from Israel. I don't know how to say hello and shalom. Do I say shalom? I guess I can say shalom. Welcome to Mornings with the Outlaw. Let's see. So the views are going back up. The likes are going back up. We're a little light on the Streamlabs and the Super Chat, so help us out, people. It's a Friday. Send us into the weekend with a positive reaction. All right, let's move on to our next story, and this is a massive story with a lot of people interesting on both sides of the fence. Yeah, Javicia Leslie has been named as the new Batwoman. You know, Alex, we had that controversy going on with Ruby Rose and her stepping away after the first season as the lead of CW's Batwoman, but Javicia Leslie has stepped in now. She's been cast. She was recently seen in the CBS series God Friended Me. She'll take over the title role in CW's second season. Showrunner Carolyn Dries and executive producer Greg Berlanti, they opted to create a new character named Ryan Wilder. And Leslie said in a statement, I am extremely proud to be the first Black actress to play the iconic role of Batwoman on television, and as a bisexual woman, I am honored to join this groundbreaking show, which has been such a trailblazer for the LGBTQ plus community. So that's a fantastic thing for her to say. And even Ruby Rose gave her some love on Instagram. You know, she's got the blessing of the original Batwoman as well. So that's a positive in her corner. Another thing to know about her, I did a little bit of research here for her. She was born into a military family in Germany. Her family moved to Maryland. She grew up in Upper Marlboro. She attended Hampton University. So she did some stuff there. She moved to Los Angeles to pursue her career. She appeared in the BET series, The Family Business, was in the 2019 film, Always a Bridesmaid. And like I said, she appeared in 2 seasons of the series God Friended Me. So she, she's also trained in Muay Thai, boxing, and is a vegan. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. I'm excited about her. She's got a great look, a strong, powerful presence. She's young. I watched some clips of her and God Friended Me. She's got a subtle kind of like don't mess with me attitude, which I really enjoy, but also vulnerability she brings to the role she was playing there. So for me, I love this. This is kind of reminding me of Eartha Kitt as Catwoman. You know, we've had Black women step in and play people in the Batman universe. So I like this idea. What do you think?
Man, you got to bring Eartha Kitt into this as like one of the sexiest people of all time.
Truth.
The truthiest truth ever truthed. So I totally agree. I think she's fantastic. I've not seen her personally in any shows, God Friended Me or anything like that personally. However, I love the idea that Ruby Rose, she's supporting her as well. I love that, there is that kind of camaraderie there and that support, as well. Because obviously, CW and the world of superheroes and especially in TV and everything, not only is it very competitive and, it's it can be notoriously difficult to be a part of this world, being part of the community, sometimes. And so I am really glad she's being welcomed with open arms and, encouraged. I did hear some mentions being like, well, she's supposed to be a lesbian. She's not supposed to be bisexual. It's the whole thing. And, we can't jumble those people together. And, you're absolutely right. It's just for this one in particular, I feel like it would be a very interesting adaptation of this character that we would love to see on screen.
Yeah, agreed.
Mm-hmm.
And she, people saying all that. Some people, and I haven't heard. I don't know about you, but I haven't seen the backlash on social media for this. I haven't seen too many people getting upset about it. So I think that's a positive. I think we're in a new era after the Black Lives Matter situation that has happened here. All these protests. I think people are much more wide open to what's happening. They're a little bit more, I'm not going to use the term woke. I hate that term woke, but I think they're a bit more just open to looking at things in a different way, in a different light, and being more open to seeing new possibilities in the world. And I love this idea. We just talked about a young black kid is going to be playing a Peter Pan. So we have now, a bisexual black young woman playing Batwoman. I love this idea. I think it's fantastic overall, and seeing what will come about from it. I'm excited to see. And I venture to say she's, from what I've seen already, a better actress than Ruby Rose. So maybe that'll settle some things down and people will feel more comfortable to give this show another shot. So we'll see.
John, let's just make something clear real quick, just real fast. That's not very hard to do.
Okay.
I love Ruby, but I love Ruby. I think she's fantastic in John Wick, but
I know. We don't want to pile on, but
she has her strengths and weaknesses, and she knows it, and I appreciate that.
That's a very good way to put it.
Everyone has strengths and weaknesses.
They do. Let's see here. Are we still okay? All right. Okay, we're still okay. I just want to make sure. All right. Mukbang Reviews dropped in a super chat. Said, what did you think of Halle Berry's apology for attempting to play a trans man role? This is interesting. She faced some backlash on social media, and she announced on Twitter on Monday that she is no longer considering portraying a transgender man in an upcoming film role. She apologized in an Instagram live video. She said, as a cisgender woman, I now understand that I should not have considered this role, and that the transgender community should undeniably have the opportunity to tell their own stories. I am grateful for the guidance and critical conversation over the past few days, and I will continue to listen, educate, and learn from this mistake. She vowed to be an ally and to use her voice to promote better representation on screen, both in front of and behind the camera. And a lot of people, applauded her for that. Certainly the LGBTQ advocacy group GLAAD said that they're happy that they have learned from them, and other powerful people should do the same. They said a good place to start is by watching @disclosure_doc to learn about trans representation in media. So, there you go. I think it's a fantastic thing that she, kind of understood what was happening here, read the room and decided to step away from the role. And I know in the past when Scarlett Johansson went through this a feo months ago, people defended Scarlett Johansson and say, what, you're just going to get the right, why can't we get the best actress for the role, best actor for the role? Hey, listen, we've had that for numerous decades and centuries in film. It's a new world. Welcome to the new world. And in the new world, there are plenty of, trans actors and trans men who are actors who can play these roles, trans women who can play these roles. There are plenty of actors out there from numerous sections of society who never got a chance to be an actor, who never got a chance to show what they could do because they were limited in the options that they had. So by opening the door, you allow more people to be a part of this conversation and to audition for roles which might showcase their hidden talent. What do you think about this, Alex?
I think it's interesting that it seems like we're being kidnapped in the chat. That's what's going on.
Oh, by who?
Yeah, I don't know, but it seems like we're being kidnapped by someone. I totally agree. I think it was like one of the most perfect apologies that we've seen from these situations. Like, ScarJo, please take notes. Girl, I love you, but that's better. I hope you learn from your mistakes. The thing is, so what this is a story that, well, not the Halle Berry aspect story of it, but the movie that's being made, I am really sad that it might not get the financial backing. It might not get the viewership that it would have had if Halle Berry was attached to it. Right. Because obviously, if you're going to be having a really big name, you're more likely to get more money as a result of it, because it's, you're just better, you're investing, right? So if you are going to be, as a result of this, they're the casting agents, whatever it may be, they're thinking to themselves, okay, we definitely want someone, we want a person of the trans community. Wonderful. How many people are on that level that are on that level that are part of the trans community. So they're probably gonna have to go definitely do coming through with obviously like any other movie, obviously when it comes to finding the right person. I just don't know if we're gonna be able to get as much the kind of movie that the creators hoped for as a result. So they might have to go with a different direction because of it, just financially speaking. So I'm really excited either way. And I think it's wonderful that Halle Berry stepped aside and realized, her not priorities. What's the word I'm looking for? Starts with a P. That word, I'm talking
prerogative.
about.
Her prerogative?
No, it's
what are you trying to say?
It's where I have a lot of benefits because of who I am, race or gender.
Okay.
What's that word?
I think that says it. I think that says it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like she recognized her situation.
Privilege.
And, privilege. Thank you.
There it is.
I just verbal.
It's all right. I love it. Yeah, we got there.
But privilege. Yeah, she recognized her privilege and she understood. So I think that's wonderful.
Yeah. I think so. And people have to accept this. This is where we're going. This is where the world is going, and it's okay. That's the way it goes. And guess what? There's going to be enough roles for white, straight men and women. That's never going to stop. There's going to be more than enough. We're just asking people from underserved communities, minority communities. We're just asking for the shot to tell our own stories or to be considered for these other roles. That's all we're saying. It's been too long and it's been a long time coming, and I'm glad that it's happening and we're in transition, and it's a positive thing. Some people want to get upset because they just need to get upset about something. But in reality, the people with good hearts understand that this is a balance, and we're trying to create more balance and equality in the world. And it's what we're supposed to be doing as human beings. We have that responsibility, in my opinion, to do that. Mukbang Reviews giving you some love here. Great points, Alex. There you go. It's very
Mr. Vatican. I'm calling it Mr. Vatican.
Mr. Vatican? That's good.
Mr. Vatican. I mean, the picture. It's from the Vatican. So
paging Mr. Vatican. How many we got? We got 130 all in here. We got only 87 likes. Come on, guys. Get us over 100 likes. Marching towards 150 likes in the last half an hour or so of the show. We have some Streamlabs that have come through. Let's jump on these as well. Ben Rayner says, I like the casting of the new Batwoman. I'm happy she's an experienced actor. Personally, I wish they just did recasting because I liked the story from last season, and bummed most likely it will get brushed away, but I'll give this a try. Maybe it will be better. Yeah, what do you think about this, Alex? Do you think it's okay that they're kind of just casting a new character and making her Batwoman and having everyone else kind of adjust their storylines around her?
I do agree to a certain extent. It can be very frustrating, especially if you really love the direction that the characters and plot is going into. Now, I have not seen it personally, so I can't obviously say it was amazing or bad or whatever the situation was. But at the same time, you are totally right. Because of this new casting, and they're creating a whole new character with Ryan Wilder as the new Batman, you are going to have to take a turn with some new characters, new plots, and go into new stories, obviously, and kind of adapt appropriately. So if it is not, if you really love the direction of the first season, sorry, it sucks. I do I definitely understand where you're coming from, and it sucks. But also, there's with this new kind of Batwoman on the other side, this opens up a world of awesome new characters and plots and everything, because they weren't able to kind of go in that direction until now. I agree. Thank you so much, Ben, for that Streamlabs. Andrew Burnett donated as well. Said beer money for the Outlaw and some for Alex to get herself a Brewer hat. Milwaukee Brewers hat. That way she doesn't have to wear the Cardinal hat anymore. Have a great weekend. Oh, there you go, Alex. I thought he meant like a brewer. Brewer hat, because my brother's a brewer, as in he brews beer, for a living, and so I pictured one of his hats that he brews beer with, and so I was like, one of those cool hats, and then I realized you're talking about sports, so I got way too excited for a minute.
Well, thank you, Andrew, for that. Andrew G donated and said the thing about, quote, supposed to be this is that this is a new character. This isn't Kay Kane. She can be whatever the showrunners want this new Batwoman to be, and I'm into it. A young, strong, sexy black woman taking on the mantle is interesting. I agree. I agree. And I think so too. Like too many people are like, oh, the Bat universe doesn't have, or so some people have said the Bat universe doesn't have. Does this sound like a Batwoman? I went back at somebody and was like, guy, relax. First of all, it's not real. Second of all, they're allowed to create whatever characters they want in the Batman universe because they've been given poetic light or creative license rather to create the characters that they want to make fit. And it's a new world. You can't try to make characters from the 40s in 2020. Like you just have to make adjustments. And I like the idea that they're going with a young, scrappy Batwoman who's a bit too aggressive or gets into things a little too quickly and is learning as she goes along. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. What do you think?
I do think it's it kind of, when someone kind of complains about that, like, oh, if it's not the right race or something like that, I just I'm reminded of a conversation I had like a long time ago. It's like with a family member, and they were like, "Oh, I heard the new Ariel in the live action is supposed to be with a potentially a black actress they're considering." And I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds awesome, cool." And they're like, "No, if anything, it should be a European, a white actress and everything because it's like a European mythology." And I'm like. Right. And I was like, first of all, Ariel's a fucking mermaid. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
This is one. She's a mythological monster thing that eats sailors. So calm down. Okay. She's half fish. How much reality are you wanting to base this on? Also, if we're going to talk about that, historically speaking, there are numerous legends and throughout the world, including Asia, Africa, and South America, that include mermaids that are not of white race. So calm down, uncle. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Also, I'll fight you.
There you go.
Not to mention Ariel. I can't wait for that to happen with Little Mermaid.
That's a little tough thing. That's for sure. 50 Shades of Geek donated, said, my favorite Hook is Captain Hook. Is Colin O'Donoghue from Once Upon a Time, alongside my favorite Peter Pan, Robbie Kay. Have either of you seen Once Upon a Time? Have you?
Mm-hmm. I have.
Okay, please, you speak on this. I have not.
It's not my favorite show, but that Hook, he is... Okay. Let me just say he's so beautiful on that guy liner. I'm so here for it. It brings out the emo kid in me from middle school, and I'm so here for it. Yes, absolutely. That's also obviously not only a romanticized version of it, where he's more like an anti-hero in that show rather than like a villain. And I kind of want a real gritty, weird villain. I mean, at the end of the day, Captain Hook is a guy who has his hand chopped off that was eaten by an alligator or whatever, and he's attacking children with a hook on his hand. And his best friend is named Smee. I mean, how weird is this world? I mean, like, embrace it. Let's get weird and creepy. And so let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair point. All right. And let's see. We got another one that just rolled through here from 50 Shades of Geek. Said, just like with Supergirl, I liked Batwoman's sister more than Batwoman herself. It breaks my heart that storyline won't come back for next season, but I'll give it a shot. Hope it works for me. I totally understand that. I agree. Kyler Leigh is fantastic in Supergirl. I mean, look, Melissa Benoist has to be how can I say this? Melissa Benoist has to be the foundation, the anchor of the show, so that other people can have their interesting storylines. She's got a good storyline, of course, the stuff with James Olsen, all of that was predominant in the first few seasons. But she's kind of expanded out. Her dad, her mom, Martian Manhunter, John, all of that has been a part of it. But her relationship with her sister, her and Kyler Leigh, they have a really nice chemistry. But Kyler gets to do more because she doesn't have the superpowers. So to compensate for the superpowers, you have to give her interesting storylines, interesting things that she got going on so that she can have her own kind of power in the series. So I hear what you're saying. Absolutely. Once again, Batwoman's sister is cool because Batwoman has all these powers and has all these abilities rather as a superhero, but the sister has to have equal amounts of interest so that you can have some fun connection. So that's how it goes there. But yeah, I understand, but I think they'll still weave in the sister. She'll still be a big part of this because a lot of people came out of this first season enjoying that character and enjoying that actress.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Like I said earlier, if you really loved the direction that whole season was going into, including the relationships, it makes sense. It makes sense that you would I don't want to say upset, but at the same time, you might be a little disappointed they might not be able to go in that direction. But there are a lot of different ways they can incorporate, that sister relationship, maybe a mentor, teaching her, having, kind of maybe have some kind of team up relationship. So I would really love to kind of see how that expanded. I also just love I'm like one of like 3 people that are like Charlie's Angels from last year. And I just think it's like so much fun when like girls like actively band together and like fight crime and do that thing. So
all right, I respect that. That might come up later on in the show, something about that. Let's see. Andrew G says, do you think they should give her a new Robin?
She had a Robin?
I don't think she had a Robin, and I think I think she's gonna essentially be the pseudo Nightwing Robin because she's younger. She's more, lack of a better term, she's gonna be more like making more mistakes, more aggressive, more emotional, what have you. So in a way, she's gonna be like the Robin. That's what they said. She's a wild character that's gonna have to figure out how to be Batwoman. So that's how they're kind of melding the storylines, I think, of Batman and Robin. So I don't think they're going to give her a Robin. I think she's going to stand in a way for Robin, maybe for the first half of the season or the first season, and then the second season really come into her own as the central figure of the story. Yeah.
Does this show take place in Bloodhaven?
What do you mean, Blood? No, I don't think so. It's in Gotham.
Oh, that's it. That's a little confused because so Nightwing, he actually leaves Gotham to pretty much obviously to become like a new. He's always in Batman's shadow, so it makes sense. And he's like, you know what? I want my own city to protect, my own fam. What up? And so he goes to Bloodhaven. So Bloodhaven or Bloodhaven. There's like an U with the dots above. I can't remember how it's pronounced, but regardless. So I wasn't sure if that's like kind of the direction that you meant. Okay, yeah. So I totally kind of see it. Like you mentioned, when it comes to Robin, the series of Robins are like some of my favorite weird characters when it comes to the Batman universe. And so I would kind of love it if they had this kind of multiverse situation where a bunch of Robins just like popped in, all the time. I mean, let a girl dream. So that's my big
That's true. I respect that. Black Intellect wants to know, why is it when women are cast in roles like Batwoman, they highlight the actress' sexuality? What about her accomplishments or experiences? Well, I take your point. You want to answer this one, Alex?
Yeah, absolutely. You are totally right in asking that question. I actually really appreciate it for, asking this. Okay. So especially in characters like Batwoman, Batwoman was purposely written as a lesbian, a very proud and out character, which was huge when it comes to the comics at the time when she was originally written. And so, but also a lot of people involving the show are also of the LGBT community as well, very proudly so within Hollywood. And that's actually a very, very rare combination for sure. It's now more than ever. It's really wonderful. A lot more people are comfortable coming out, but at the same time, it took us a long time to get here. But for the character of Batwoman, like I mentioned, not only is it's pivotal to her character, but also the creators of the show have been very vocal about how they want someone of that community to portray this character. So like we were talking about with Halle Berry, she like she mentioned in her apology, she is a cisgendered woman. She if anything, she wants to pass that role on to someone that is of that community in order to really portray that character much more effectively. And so I do think that's very similar to this as well. They want someone of that community to portray Batwoman. Because there's so few roles that are purposefully on this road where she's not just casually where it's just something playing on in the background. It's an active part of her identity when it comes to Batwoman. And we do mention her accomplishments and experiences as well.
That's kind of talked about that already in pitching her, but absolutely understood your point of view there. But we focus on that because Carolyn Dries and Greg Berlanti wanted to make sure they cast someone who represented that community, because it's an underserved community in entertainment, and so they want to make sure they highlight that. That's the reason it's brought up more than anything else in this situation. In other situations, absolutely, that's been a bit of a problem in the past, but I think that's changing as well. People are, you can see already, production companies of both film and television production companies are very aware now of how the perception is of what they're doing, and so the public has changed in what they want. So there we go.
But thank you again for asking that question. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, we've got some breaking news, Alex. I want to tell you about this. It just broke on Twitter, thanks to the Hollywood Reporter's Boris Kitt. Let me read this to you real quick. So this is coming. Apparently, the Batman TV spinoff from Matt Reeves and Terrence Winter is set at HBO Max. It's an untitled police procedural that will be set in the same universe as the forthcoming feature film starring Robert Pattinson. HBO Max and Matt Reeves, they've teamed up to develop a police procedural series set in Gotham City. This is not a reboot of Gotham. This is going to be connected. The series does not have a title, though a lot of people who are comic book fans are already calling this thing Gotham Central in their minds, or GCPD. So a lot of you know what that's about, and that's a comic book series that highlighted the detectives in Gotham and the police in Gotham, how they dealt with solving crimes alongside or without the help of Batman or any of the other superheroes in Gotham. So this is fascinating. HBO Max says the series will be set in the world Reeves is creating for the Batman feature film and will build upon the motion picture's examination of the anatomy of corruption in Gotham City, ultimately launching a new Batman universe across multiple platforms. The series provides an unprecedented opportunity to extend the world established in the movie and further explore the myriad of compelling and complex characters of Gotham. It's unclear whether Pattinson or Jeffrey Wright will appear in the show. No castings have been made, but Reeves said this is an amazing opportunity not only to expand the vision of the world I am creating in the film, but to explore it in the kind of depth and detail that only a long-form format can afford. So this is a phenomenal situation here, because he's already focused on doing the Batman. Now he's swinging over into HBO Max and doing a Batman TV series with Terrence Winter, who did Boardwalk Empire, one of my secretly favorite shows. So this is a fascinating combination and interesting situation developing here. What do you think about it, Alex?
Totally agree with you 100%. We also had another, in my opinion, very successful TV series that also focused on the GCPD called Gotham, you know. But again, I'm also one of 3 people that liked that show for what it is. It's like that show, it's not a good show, but did I have fun watching it? Yes. Did I take so much delight in finding all those little Easter eggs and little comic references? I was like, oh, I see what you did there. Oh, it just had a little throwaway moment. I understood that reference. It was really wonderful. So I appreciate that. So coming off, I understand thing is Gotham, I know, was very much a you love it or hate it situation.
Yeah. And
Pennyworth is a show, I believe it's on like Epix or something. I remember seeing the trailer and I was like, ooh, this feels like a TV movie situation. It didn't look good. And I had no desire to see it. So I am a little worried about this. And I am excited about the people behind it. It's just, do we need it or want it? But also low key, HBO it's from HBO, right?
HBO Max, yeah.
HBO Max is becoming like the new DC, you know, when it comes to putting together these productions. And I know the Harlequin shows, I believe, moving over there, right?
Right. It's frustrating. DC Universe needs to move everything over to HBO Max. This is incredibly frustrating. Enough is enough already. Why do you have 2 separate streaming services that have DC content on them? It does not make any sense at all. Put all the DC Universe stuff over. Sorry about that. A little iced tea on the computer. Put all the DC Universe stuff over there to HBO Max so that we have one hub, one place to go to watch all this stuff. I would personally appreciate it, because I'm getting a little tired of having to, because I do not have DC Universe, and missing out on the second season of Harley Quinn, having to wait for it to pop off someplace else, was a little frustrating. So I'd like that to happen overall. But I'm excited about this. I'm a big fan of GCPD. I collected GCPD, one of the rare comics that was able to survive after I made a bit of a purge. And I enjoy the idea of seeing normal people having to deal with superheroes and doing their jobs and the corruption involved in it. There was little hints of it in The Dark Knight with Montoya and those people there that are the regular detectives in Gotham and how they got involved in Joker's plans. All of that was kind of alluded to there. And I think Montoya is a lesbian as well. So that's an angle you can explore in the show as well. So I'm down to see GCPD and see it all plays out. And I think in the hands of Matt Reeves, we're not going to get that fantastical, weird world of Gotham. We're going to get a more grittier, darker, connectable, grounded world that will be fun to enjoy as well. And look, not slighting anyone who loved Gotham, just saying it wasn't my cup of tea. I like to see things a little more grittier and real. So there you go. Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm hearing, Rocha. Okay, next live event coming in hot. All right. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
There you go from
Mr. Vatican. I appreciate that. Yeah, I totally agree. But you're totally right. This world in particular, you can take in a whole bunch of different directions. You can go fantastical and weird, and that way, the way Gotham did, which I appreciate. It was very much inspired by the Burton Batman films, visually speaking as well.
Yes.
But this one, it sounds like they're taking it, a very darker tone, and you possibly having some people also that are involved in the Batman with Reeves, possibly, make cameos and some appearances. Jeffrey Wright, just give the man everything. I love him and every single thing he is. And so I would love to see him and be involved with this to a certain extent in a full like season role, or just maybe an episode here or there. Either way, take my money, HBO Go. Either way.
HBO Max.
Max, that one, whatever.
Go is ending at the end of the month, I think. Patrick Patton says Luke Fox, who was on Batwoman, becomes Batwing in the comics, which is like a Batman Iron Man hybrid. Could be her Robin. That's very possible.
Dude,
that's possible. I don't think she's there to need a Robin just yet. I think that will develop as it goes along. So certainly, as we've seen in CW series, multiple seasons, character arcs change. People develop more maturity. People find themselves connected to people. So certainly that's a damn good possibility, Patrick. Thank you for that super chat. Very kind of you. So many people chiming in about this idea of the HBO Max series with Gotham Central and GCPD. A lot of people interested in it as well. Let's see. Some people worried about my computer. I respect that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
See if any Streamlabs have come through. Yeah, 50 Shades of Geek says, I like Gotham too, Alex. Don't sell yourself short. There you go.
Yes, absolutely. And I have to say, Patrick, by the way, in your profile picture, I just want to give you like a high five, like through the screen, because your hair is like defying gravity in that picture. Like, look at that. Like, that is like, that took finesse. I don't know what's happening there, but I'm just impressed, immensely impressed.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It looks he's a handsome man. Fitch Shades Geek also donated, said the Arrowverse is going to look very different next season without Oliver, Ralph, and Kate. Hope it won't be too jarring. Hey, you still have, you don't have a elongated man because of what happened with Homie's comments that were absolutely terrible. You won't have Katie Kane as the Batwoman, and you won't have Oliver Queen back as Arrow. So, but these things change. Just like Avengers and in the MCU, it's going to be really weird to have no Captain America, no Iron Man. You got a whole new people. No, Natasha, right. You've got a whole new people coming in and taking over these mantles and younger actors, younger characters rolling through. So it's a part of change. Life is the only constant in life is change. That's absolutely the truth. And that's part of this process. So, just a rebooting. And taxes. That's for damn sure. I got to figure those out. I got to figure those out one of these days.
That's a whole conversation right there. Sean, my food.
Yeah. We're running out of time. We're running out of time here, Alex. I'm sorry. We're not going to get to all our stories before we have to wrap up. It's already 9:30. I can't believe it. But we should definitely touch on this story, the sad story that's coming out about Naya Rivera. Unfortunately, she has got sadly into a situation for herself. And she went boating on a pontoon boat in the afternoon, I think, yesterday or a couple of days ago with her 4-year-old child. She is lost at sea at this point. Her child was discovered asleep in the boat. And today they released last night or this morning, they released the 911 call of the person who found the boat and saying that they do not see the mom anywhere, don't know where the mom is. The child was interviewed, the 4-year-old child. Her 4-year-old child spoke about it and said that her mom they both went swimming and that her mom didn't get back in the boat. So we don't want to speculate about what might have happened or what might have been the intentions here. But the officials California officials are saying that they think that she has drowned. She was reported missing on Wednesday. And Sergeant Kevin Donahue said at a news conference Thursday that Rivera and her son rented a boat to take out on Lake Piru in Los Padres National Forest at approximately 1 p.m. The rental was supposed to last for 3 hours. And when the pair had not returned by 4:30 p.m., That's when workers went out to search for them. They released a 15-minute video this morning showing on the CCTV, showing her pulling into the parking lot, getting out with her son, walking over to the pontoon boat, and the pontoon boat taking off. So they said that the boy told authorities that he and his mother had been swimming in the lake and said he got back in the boat, but his mother did not. So that is the sad truth there. And they're saying it's very hard to search for her at this point because of the issues going on with debris and branches and brush underneath the water down there. Apparently it's very dense with a lot of that, and her body may have gotten caught up in that and not been able to come back up into the surface. And it's making harder for divers who've been searching since Wednesday to find her. So unfortunately, and this is a sad truth also if you're a fan of Glee, because a lot of people now start talking about the curse of Glee again with Corey Monteith's death from overdose. I can't remember the other actor who committed suicide after he was found to have child pornography on his computer. So this is a sad situation. And Naya Rivera, strong actress, outspoken actress, played a lesbian on Glee who kind of came to terms with her sexuality throughout the course of the show. She was in 6 seasons of the show. And I think she was related to one of the Los Angeles Raiders, or Oakland Raiders as well. I can't remember his name, but was related to him as well. Was a firmament there. You'd see her at the games all the time. And she took no guff. She certainly had some strong words for Leah Michelle when all that stuff that's been happening about her came out. She had some strong words as well. So any thoughts on this, Alex, this unfortunate situation going on?
I never really watched Glee. I watched 1 or 2 episodes and I was like, it's not for me, but that's cool. But at the same time, I have been aware of her, obviously, her celebrity status and everything as well. And I have seen some things she's posted in response to Leah, some things she's posted online just in support of the movement and, a lot of different things over the years. She's not only is she a really awesome actress, a woman of color, but also she's one of those, she had a really, as far as I'm concerned, from what I've heard, she had a really great character arc, as well. And that's very weird. Sorry, that's not a word again. I'm sorry. But it's a really awful situation for obviously anyone to be in. It's just, she's so young. I believe she was in her early 30s. I believe she was like 32 or 33 when this all went down. And she was with her son, who was 4 years old. And it was just them two, having fun, renting a boat. And so it's a really awful situation. I do hope this comes out positive and we are able to find something happen. It's just a really horrible situation altogether.
Yeah, and it's a terrible situation because you got a young mom, you've got a young child, you don't know what you don't know if this was an accident, you don't know if this was intentional. I'm sure stuff will start coming out over the next few days to let us know what happened. But just overall, a tragic situation for a young actress and someone who had garnered a lot of attention as a young actress, building her resume, building her career. Someone, if I remember correctly, she had a strong social media following as well. If I've got that correct here, on Twitter here, Naya Rivera. She was a big part of social media, had some things going on for herself, and certainly 1.5 million followers. That's nothing to sneeze at. So certainly a strong reaction. I looked at the video, over 650,000 views on the 15-minute video of her just pulling into the parking lot and getting onto the boats, and a lot of comments. People were heartbroken. People couldn't sleep. People having nightmares about the situation. So certainly something strong. She has a strong connection with a lot of people through the Glee fandom, and a lot of people enjoyed her as a singer in the Glee fandom as well. So unfortunate situation there.
She did actually on Glee. A lot of people are actually posting her singing a song that she sings, "If I Die Young." That, of saying formally of Lady Antebellum / Lady A.
The band Perry. The band Perry.
Oh, band Perry. Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that. So it's really a weird omen today. It's really just kind of putting that perspective and listening to her sing that song so beautifully. And considering everything going on right now.
Yeah, And her last picture that she posted was a picture of her kissing her son and saying something like "just the two of us." So pretty strong sentiment there. So an unfortunate situation but we hope for the best. You never know. You hope for the best until they officially call it. You just hope for the best. Thank you, FJames72, just sending in a little bit of support. Really appreciate that very, very much. All right, we got a few more minutes left, about 7 minutes left. I don't know if there's enough time to get into anything. Maybe a quick thought on Leigh Whannell directing Wolfman with Ryan Gosling. Any thoughts on that, Alex, as we take a look at those two gentlemen right there? Look at that. Well, you can tell which one's the actor, which one the director is. But tell me, Alex.
That is an attractive man.
I do. I like Leigh's very cool. I met him on set for Invisible Man, and it was fantastic. But he's stepping in. He did the Invisible Man. This is still the Universal monster movie universe, even though they haven't officially called it a universe. He will be handling this. Do you like this idea of Ryan Gosling as the Wolfman? Do you like the idea of Leigh Whannell coming back to direct a Universal monster movie on the heels of the success of the Invisible Man?
I love monster movies in general, and I'm excited to see more of it. I'm very confident in this director. This pick, Whannell, I think he's a great pick. We were talking just very briefly earlier about, live action, fantasy adaptations. This guy actually directed one of my favorite live action adaptations of Pete's Dragon.
Yes.
Super underrated. Oh my gosh, it's so great. If you haven't seen it, go take the effort and go see it. It's wonderful. So hearing that, he's very comfortable not only with that kind of sci-fi fantasy aspect, obviously, but it sounds like he's really comfortable as a director working with visuals as well with CGI and these kind of characters, which I'm really excited about. But Gosling.
Yeah.
He's so pretty.
So
I'm really excited for it either way. He's a great director, hot off the heels of the Invisible Man. It's fantastic. So you can't really think of a better combination right now.
Yeah, me too. I like the idea of him stepping into this situation. I really love The Invisible Man. I think it should be, at this point, it's my favorite film of the year. I thought Elizabeth Moss was incredible in the film. Benjamin Wolfish's score should certainly be Oscar nominated. And she should be nominated for Best Actress as well. It's such an incredible film. And Leigh's just a sweet, humble dude. Very much good at what he does. When we got a chance to sit down with him, when a bunch of us got sent for that Invisible Man junket, sitting down with him was a blast. Talking with him was a blast. Enjoying conversations with him, the way he views film, the way he talks about this, just a sweetheart of a guy, And so overall, I think this is a fantastic situation to put together. And Ryan Gosling is the one, and they've been wanting to work together for quite some time. And Leigh initially turned down this opportunity because he'd already done stuff for Jason Blum. He's got that contract with him, but he'd already done The Invisible Man. But it was Jason Blum's wife, who was the producer on the film, who convinced him to take another look at it. So now Leigh is writing a treatment for it, and it's going to base it on the 1941 film with Claude Rains and an original idea of his. So, and it's going to update it to modern times, then make it work like that. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for it overall.
As long as we don't have like a Benicio del Toro like random cameo as Wolfman, that'd be great. I'm just very happy about that.
Wow.
And I would love to, I do know Andrew Valdez kind of mentioned in the chat, Gosling is one of those people that's so pretty. He's just a set of walking memes. He's just like, hey, you know what that feels like? Wolfman material. So
there you go. Okay.
It's a thing, okay?
It is. All right, let's wrap it up there. We got 4 minutes left in the channel. I apologize to you all who were waiting to hear us talk about Thandie Newton spilling the tea on Amy Pascal. Do your research on that story. Read up. That's an incredible interview that Thandie Newton did in Vulture. She dropped a lot of tea about Tom Cruise and about Amy Pascal, someone who keeps getting away with these behaviors of hers in Hollywood, keeps claiming that she has no recollection of these things. At some point, it's got to catch up to her, for God's sake. So go and read that interview and make up your own mind, make up your own opinions about Thandie Newton. But I hope it leaves you with how it left me, which was a brand new appreciation for the strength of this young woman and what she's gone through in Hollywood. So go and read that. Unfortunately, the breaking news with Gotham Central took that slot, so we will touch on it maybe down the road if more and more stuff comes out about it, for sure. Thank you, Javicia. Appreciate you sending in about $5 to help us out here a little bit. Appreciate that. Alex, pitch. Al, where can they find you, and tell people what you're working on real quick before we wrap up here?
Yesterday I did one of my favorite things of all time and hosted a championship match on a schmo-based match between Ben Bateman and William Bibbs Bibiani. It was so amazing. It was so good. And Christian Harloff himself, the Schmodown co-founder, actually came and co-hosted it with me. It was really great. Both Christian and I were like very surprised at the outcome, to say the least, based off the arguments exclusively. But yeah, it was fantastic. Go check it out if that's something you're kind of curious about. Go look up Call to Action on YouTube at the Call to Action podcast, and I'm part of that group, and that my Shimo Bates is actually my show that's part of it. And you can also find me on Twitter. I post a bunch of stuff. Next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, I am co-hosting a show called Cinema Bias, where Video Drew and we really kind of talk about our movie biases. Recently we had Rocha on chatting about Rosemary's Baby. We are going to be talking about Mulan, the movie Warrior by Gavin O'Connor, and Drew has never seen a James Bond movie. So if you think I'm bad when it comes to movies, boy, just you wait. He has never seen a James Bond movie. And so we're going to be watching, diving on Tuesday, we're going to be diving into Dr. No, the first James Bond movie.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Shaken, not stirred.
Exactly.
I just was giving Christian a little shit for being on Schmo Bates at nighttime. At the nighttime, I thought he was on nighttime because that's when we did it. He's like, since when is 4 p.m. nighttime? I'm like, all right. Never mind. All right, no more Streamlabs, no more Super Chats. Thank you, Alex, for being on the show. Always appreciate us doing this. It's been a lot of fun doing Mornings with the Outlaw with you, and people have been enjoying our show. So thank you so much for being a part of it, Alex. You can find me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. You can subscribe to the channel down below. Please don't forget to do that, and join the Patreon, patreon.com/John Rocha, right up there. You should definitely do it because Alex and I just recorded the first episode of one of my new patron shows called The Outlaw Rides Again. Alex and I revisited the first match between John Rocha, the Outlaw, and the movie man himself, the Sheriff Scott Mance. That's right, Scott Mance and I. So Alex and I rewatched that match, and it's about an hour-long video. We had a lot of questions beforehand, some questions throughout the video. It's a 36-minute match, so there's a lot to go over, and it's interesting to revisit those first few matches and see all the nuttiness that is involved there and how much the game has changed since then. So I think you guys will enjoy that video. I'll be dropping it for the patrons later on today for the patrons who are, I think $10 and above patrons or $5 above patrons. And then on Tuesday, I'll drop the video for everybody else. So when you're a part of the Patreon, you get these videos ahead of time. And then so just give you a little bit of a heads up and a hint to be a part of the Patreon. There's a lot of benefits from doing that. Later on today, we'll have that Outlaw Hangout as well on camera, on Zoom for the Outlaw Nation as well. So come be a part of the Outlaw Nation Patreon. Trust me, there's so much more coming down from us. All right. Have a great rest of your Friday. And yes, the Bespin episode. Yes, Rick Samoris, it is the Bespin episode. I should say that. It is the infamous Bespin match. So definitely you can hear Alex and I going at it and talking about it all through it. So, all right.
Low key, the most influential match of all time. Hot take coming in. Hot take.
I don't know if that's true, but I appreciate you saying that.
I said low key. Okay.
Yeah,
low
all
key.
All right. Low key. Chill. Whatever. Chill. Have yourselves a great Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Hey, you made it to the weekend. Congratulations. Now, relax a little bit. Take a little bit of time to decompress. Kind of do things to help you out, and then walk into Monday with some new vigor and new purpose to make that week really good for you and what you're trying to do in your world and in your life. All right. I love all of you. Thank you so much for being a part of the Outlaw Nation. Thank you so much for watching Mornings with the Outlaw. And don't forget to watch me in about 14 minutes over there on SCN Live, having a good time with the crew over there. And later on today at 4 p.m., 3 p.m. PT live, Strong Style, the wrestling show. Me and Aaron Turner talking about all the wrestling news going on this week and revisiting one fantastic match from pro wrestling's history. So, all right, that's it. I'm done. Talk to you later. Take care of yourselves. Love you. Bye.
And wear a mask.
And wear a mask. Absolutely.